Hey guys, my name is Mark from Jazz Guitar Lessons. In today's episode, it's a special guest we have. We have Ed on the call, who's a second-time winner of our Jazz Guitar Fellowship organized contest. Submitted a version of Autumn Leaves, sounded awesome, got all the votes. So Ed is going to meet with me in a minute here on the Zoom call, and I'm going to be ready to answer the questions. Of course, join the fellowship for free. So you can get these contests, you can vote, you can get all the free trainings, hang out with all my students, and I'll see you on the Ed interview.
So I was looking at the Coltrane changes, which I haven't heard, a long time. And I was just I remember they were so moving.
Mhm.
And so with the F, where it's like the F minor seven, and then it goes to diminished, and then to the E flat minor seven. Um, so he does F minor seven, and then he does E minor seven, A seven.
Yes.
So he kind of just like a little bit like a half step chromatic up. And then he does some other things which I don't fully understand. But at that point, where it goes, ba-da-da-dum, he does F minor seven, and then he does E minor seven, A seven.
Yes. Yeah. Coltrane
And
with the full gamut of the matrix, that'd be another thing to add to your first questions, like how do I play out this method, alter dominance, whatever. If someone did master that Coltrane cycle and was
right,
able to do it during an improv, but the person accompanying would do a straight up 2-5-1, but the player doing the improv is going through three major keys. That's really the thing. If you want to dig deeper on that, I have a few videos. I'll put links here and here for YouTube. The goal is always to look at key centers that are descending in major thirds.
right, yeah,
Descending in major thirds. So that's like on the opposite end of the spectrum of your diminished, because diminished will be splitting the octave in 4 equal parts. And this one is splitting the octave in 3 equal parts, which giant steps. That's the name of the song. But Coltrane took it when he did what's that easy song, Tune Up by
yeah,
Miles, and then he did his is it Countdown or 26-2? There's one that it's the exact same progression, same key centers, but the way he goes, it's using the Coltrane matrix. So if someone did that during improv, it would sound completely out and chromatic, but there's a method to the madness behind it.
right.
And it's important to fully hear it, which also ties to your second question. It's important to fully hear this and to get comfortable with where it's going, but it's going temporarily. And I mean, 1 beat or 2 beats is going temporarily to resolve to that point before it springs back up using the dominant of that one, doing to the next one, next one, next one, next one. I don't remember the body and soul chords.
He
I've heard the version, but it's pretty crazy.
he does major. He does a major hack to it. It's incredible.
Major key
I
centers.
mean,
I think
yeah,
Dexter Gordon also played the Coltrane version, if I'm not mistaken, like later
I
in
don't know.
Dexter's
It's
life.
possible. It's
Yeah,
possible. Yeah, yeah.
it's like what
Right.
a tribute to get an old swing guy that went like he completely adopted bebop and he completely adopted Coltrane.
It's
He
true.
was still around the 80s. It was fantastic player.
That's true.
But yeah, we could do a tangent on Coltrane changes if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting because he does such a major change to everything. It's like, where did they all come from? The second question, though, I want to make sure we touch on it. It
Mhm.
might be just a purely, I don't know if it's a me thing or a psychological thing, but it's sort of a disconnect that I have between what I hear in my head and what I'm able to hear as soon as I pick up the instrument. Like I can be like body and soul. So I grew up hearing Coleman Hawkins play body and soul innumerable times. Like I know, I can almost. My father was a tenor sax player. He loved it. He played it.
Ah,
I can almost hear it in my head. I can't necessarily sing it accurately. And if when I pick up the guitar, it all just goes poof. I don't know why that is, but it just all, and it's that way with a lot of things. Like a song I'm working on, I'll hear like, I'm walking around, I'm thinking about the song, and I hear what I want to do, and I hear the movements I want to. And as soon as I pick up the guitar, it's like I don't have the vocabulary, and it just because I don't have the vocabulary, nothing happens. And the whole thought process, like what I was hearing in my head. I don't hear it anymore. It just disappears. Is that strange? Is that normal?
Oh no, it's not normal. Yeah, it's very normal. I think I experienced the same thing. It's a great thought. It's just going to be thoughts. Um, Personal from me and from Pat Metheny. Pope Metheny. I
Yes.
saw Metheny in an interview live. It was a series of concerts with Christian McBride. So they would play 3 4 tunes. They would sit down and chat, and they played 3 4 tunes and sit down, chat, whatever. And Metheny described this alien radio that's just plugged in here with the signal, like 24/7 playing ideas and whatever. And he defined his job as a composer and improviser and band leader as finally extracting parts of that without breaking it. I think that's where the craft lies. And I think if I remember correctly, he's like, I can't even extract like 5% of what I hear. It's Pat Metheny we're talking about,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Obviously, we're not.
Right.
So
Good.
it's
Yeah.
normal.
So it's
Number
normal.
one.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so that's
Okay.
Pat's anecdote. And on my end, I remember clearly I was still studying in college. I was starting professionally, but I was having all my classes and recitals and juries. And there's a point where I fell asleep one night in bed and I had a dream. And in the dream, I was playing the guitar and I could hear what I was playing. So I'm like, there's no guitar. It's just me. It's just my mind, right? So there's a point where I got so connected to it that it started to be a part of me.
Mm.
It's not perfect. It's not 100%, but it is there. So one thing that you may do, that's sort of the Kenny Warner approach to like chilling out and meditating, is try to keep that flow of thought, musical thoughts, and sit down with the guitar. Just put it on your lap ever so gently,
So gently, right?
and just wait and go like, you still there? Okay, and tune in to you, and then put the fingers and just try, just even you play fingerstyle, just put your hands on it without altering that Wi-Fi connection to your alien radio that you have. Just
Right.
see if you can keep that link. It will go away. It's like in and out. And you see it like even Mike Brecker or you see them play live on you watch them and you see when they're like completely zoned in and then they go like you see their eyes roll and you feel them disconnect and then they're seeking like a Wi-Fi connection. They're seeking it back to
Right.
get back into that flow. I think that would be the most valuable thing a true improviser and artist can do is like seek that connection again, seek it. Yes, scales and practice and technique, yes, but that thing that you're after is the ultimate thing that you're after.
Right. Right. So, okay. And it's just a different sort of expression of it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. um I have the body and soul in front of me, but
Okay.
I don't
Sure.
think I'll do it justice because there's 2 pages to that. I think you referred to the bridge, right? Depends where it
Yes.
goes.
So when he does the one thing I was talking about was when he
Here,
goes to D major 7.
here, yeah, it's doing that.
But I don't see the change I was seeing there.
I think that's the thing.
Um, yeah.
I yeah, I think he's
Oh, no, no, yeah. No, wait, go back to that for 1 second.
it's the last row. It's the last line on
I
this
was
page.
actually no, I was talking about let me see
Oh,
if I can see it on this one. When he does the F minor, well, yeah, it's just all different than the way I saw.
okay.
Okay, there it is. So in the B section on the second line,
Here.
yeah, yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's ultimately a half step from where, but that's all over over an A flat pedal. So that's not
Yeah,
Coltrane.
it's all right. Yeah, he does everything. Yeah, it's very heavy on the A flat pedal.
Uh, I thought this was Dexter. I think Dexter re-recorded after, but that's not a case of that's just a case of half step. And the
It's just
thing
a
I
half.
mentioned, it comes in the what's section C, but the bridge, right?
Yeah,
On the page after that, when he goes to these, you can see 3 separate keys. You can actually see the D, then the B flat, the G flat, and back to the D. So those are the three key
Right.
centers of actual Coltrane changes, but they adapted it
Right.
very roughly to fit. Yeah, so you see the big key centers, D, F sharp or G flat, and B flat. And those are the key centers to which, when we have a 5 before, that's Coltrane changes. The Coltrane matrix is 3 major keys, a major third apart, but descending major third. So if you want to do it like more gently for the ears and for the technique, so you would go, and that's the point of my video in another video, is like starting with a key of C major and then going there. So I'm gonna navigate between C, and after I can hear that, I can play a line. Like after I can navigate between these two keys, what I'll do is put the 5 of those before. So I'm gonna go C, E flat 7, A flat, a C, E flat 7 altered, A flat. So then that's one key to go to the next key. Then there's a third key, so that would be E major, right? So if I can go C, an E flat dominant to an A flat to B dominant to an E major, then all I have to do is just go back home. And there's a way to do that when they sort of substitute it for a 2-5. So they start with the 2 instead of starting with the 1. They do D minor, E flat 7, A flat major, right? So there's a whole science, and that's Countdown, if I'm not mistaken, the song.
And that's something that Coltrane did a lot of. I mean, that was sort of
that was his thing.
Well, that was his thing. You know, for a while, at one phase.
It was the 1958, 59,
Yeah.
60 thing.
Yeah.
There's Coltrane things like that later in his life with his wife. Like, oh my God.
We don't know what that was.
Yeah, Stellar Regions. It's one of the only jazz records I heard, and I was scared. I listened to it, I'm like, that's very out. Lots of squeaking and like free jazz, right? But yeah, it was one of his things, to a point where, speaking of Mr. Metheny, there's a lot of Metheny compositions that use this kind of movement. It's sort of hidden because it's been a harmonic trait that's been adopted by the jazz world. Like, it was that influential. It was an innovation of harmony, and also within lines. So say it's just a regular good old 2-5-1. The improviser may use that stuff, and now it's just common language. It's like the bops. If you've done confirmation, you've done Donnelly, you've done the bebop licks, this, that. So it's expected of jazz improvisers to sort of know and be able to use the Coltrane matrix in any situation, even blues. Okay, that was it. Thanks for watching the interview with Ed. Ed had good questions and good points to raise up. I hope you found this interview helpful. And of course, if you want to get into the challenges yourself and get all the free training and the stuff Ed was talking about, head over to the link in the description. It's the School Jazz Guitar Fellowship. It's absolutely free forever. There's countless chord melodies, countless challenges every month, actually, countless jam session tracks, interactions, questions, hang out with me and thousands of students. And I'll see you in there. And I will also see you in the next YouTube video like this. So please like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.